I grew up right down the street on Audubon Street. And I never forget working on houses with my dad. And he had a ladder and I get on the truck. And really that was my STEM education because my dad taught me how to build stuff. So I always felt I was good in math because I knew how to cut and measure and I learned fractions early on. But with all of the waste materials, I would always take 2x4s and wood and make things like scooters and make little cars, take the wheels off of baskets and make go-karts. And that was pretty much my introduction to STEM education. I came to Tulane because I was committed to doing something for my community. I believe it was 2004, George W. Bush honored me with the Presidential Award for Science, Engineering, and Mathematics Mentoring. And I looked at the award and I was convinced then I knew how to mentor 50 people. Give me a classroom of kids, I know how to do this. But then I challenged myself and said, hey, can we mentor an entire city?
He had this word produce for a long time. And he'd come in the office every day. He'd be like, you gotta produce, you gotta produce. And I was like, oh, here we go. It meant to me that you have to give your all. You always have to work hard.
The first event, I called all my buddies up, every engineer in the city I know, every doctor. I said, look, just come out. And on this wet, cold Saturday morning in December in New Orleans East, we planned for 100 kids and their parents. And 350 kids showed up and 150 parents. That night, my wife and I, we looked at each other and said, we're on to something, we're on to something.
He had a crazy idea and he wanted Entergy to support it. And our practice is to start small and then grow. So we gave Dr. Mackie a $15,000 grant that summer. We were his first corporate partner.
My first initiation with STEM Nola was my mother kind of introduced the program to me, said, hey, you want to join? Dr. Mackie was looking for high school senior, kind of almost college student volunteers.
The volunteers will be at a table with 4 students and they'll have experiments that they'll go through.
Being able to use my mind, come up with ideas, and create projects that we can then teach kids how to build these little projects, from little race cars to boats, and that experience is second to none.
Dr. Mackie will roam the floor and kind of check in on everybody, and he can pick up on the ones that didn't want to be there. And he'll participate in trying to get that light bulb to go off. And so when he comes to the table, everybody perks up.
My own 2 sons, when they got to 8th and 9th grade, they said, Dad, we don't want to go to STEM Saturday anymore. We don't want to go to STEM events anymore. And I realized then that if I'm losing my own kids, the way that I was trying to sell STEM to the community was flawed. And I had to pivot right then and there. Since one of my sons said, hey, Dad, I really want to use my voice, that's how we started partnering with Fox 8. And every other Friday now, we put a kid on the news so they can explain an experiment. Because my other son, who was really into STEM, said he didn't want to come to my events. That's how we created STEM Fellows, because we realized when the kids get older, we have to give them more immersive experiences.
It feeds a pipeline to college students, and they can learn, like, what are you majoring in college and where are you going to school? And then they also see the professionals who are able to demonstrate, I followed this path and this path brought me to NASA, or this path brought me to Stennis, or this path brought me to Entergy. It's been so inspirational to see how the program has grown, and even when stumbling blocks, obstacles come along, COVID was a big one.
COVID was a very challenging time, and that's when I seen how devoted he was to his staff, but also to the community that he served. We started virtual STEM days. He made sure all employees still had something to do, sending supplies to kids' homes if we needed to, like to ship it to them so that they could participate, because they may not be able to afford the supplies.
He has created a foundation for me. He has created a STEM interest, a STEM passion that he is spreading throughout the entire community.
That's him. Like, he's literally a social entrepreneur. His goal is to be in the communities and expose, engage, and motivate people, not even just kids, just people in general, to do the things that they want to do in life.
I can think of no one who would be more deserving of this award than Dr. Mackie, because of all of the impact that he has had on 200,000 lives.
I was at the parade the other day and a guy came up and he said, man, you the STEM man, you invented STEM. I said, no, I didn't invent STEM, but I do STEM. He said, as far as I know, I only know STEM because of you. And that's what kept me going. Our goal is to make STEM as ubiquitous as sports, And every day, there's more people that need to be exposed, and more people that need to know about what's happening in the 21st century and the possibilities of the 21st century. So to be honored by Tulane is a humbling experience because, this is where it all started.